need to nightmare. Oh my God. I spent my whole weekend trying to understand this and it's useless. And I will hear it after the class. I want to see how this sounds also. Oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Great. Good. Thank you for your patience. Like, yeah, at least I know what it is now, thanks to David. I had no idea. I was like, what, the microphone, the phone, what is actually Zoom? Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, and play. Hey, Frederick, I didn't say hi to you. I'm sorry. How rude of me. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your patience. So let's begin by laying on the back so that we can let all of that, in a way, start to settle. Yeah. Making yourself comfortable. If you want to have a bolster below your knees or below your head for better support, go ahead and do so. If your body needs to stretch wide, also a beautiful way to simply start to tell your body and every part of you that we start this beautiful journey of transitioning from everything that took you here, the journey to your mat, all these discussions and conversations, to let it all dissolve as part of the past. And instead, thanks to the wisdom of each breath, starting to arrive and land into the here, into the now. I invite you to take the 3 breaths together to begin with, as that way of clearing the way. So taking an inhale through your nose and exhale and sigh. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale. And one last breath through your nose. Inhale. And through your mouth. Sigh. And with that, the breath continues naturally in and out of your nose. And you transport your attention together with the breath to come to ignite that sense of light and lightness with every in-breath, cultivating that capacity to place yourself there where the breath creates a sensation. The journey always begins through the pathways of your nose, the back of your throat, your lungs that expand, your belly, and in truth, every cell that wakes up to your presence. As you exhale, and that whole breath moves out and your belly empties, relaxing. Your lungs soften. The air that moves out the throat, the nose into the space. And with that, everything that it was moves away so that you can cultivate that moment-to-moment unconditional presence of you, moving from energy being out in things, in understanding, in solving, to harmonize all of that with energy coming to feed and nourish the being that exists behind all of that. Inhale and let the sensations of nostrils, throat, lungs, and belly become that portal to turn towards the intelligence of your body and the one of your breath. And as you exhale and the whole body empties, the heart starts to empty, the mind starts to empty. And what remains is that mystery, the mystery of the being, the mystery of who are you when all and everything else drops. Inhale. Let all the sensations become the gift, the doorways into that mystery, the infinity of you, which always begin by accepting and being with everything that is exactly as it is. It is in that moment when you consciously expand from the sensations of the breath to the sensations present everywhere within your body. Toes, your legs, your hips, your belly, the heart, the arms, the neck, the head. Inviting all the types of intensities and all the types of numbness. In this way, you say to your entire body equally that all matters and that you are here not to criticize, not to try hard, but instead to surrender to the mystery that sits beneath all of that. Bowing the control mind to the mystery of life. It may never be fully understood, but it can be fully embodied and live in itself. Exhale, and waves of relaxation, dropping into what is that remains when you stop running, when you stop going forward. And instead the journey balances out by going inwards in a spiral into the present moment that may not be front or back, but within, in this infinite pool that after all becomes that empty space from which all is birthing and dying and rising and falling. And yet that being here, with your next breath, take a moment to let yourself connect with the space of your heart as maybe that place where that being lives. And that space that simultaneously allows that part that is doing and proving and trying hard and criticizing to be met from a place of compassion, because all of that also means being human. And there is this incredible understanding when fragments of moments can be suspended in that which holds everything. As when the breath ends, space. As when a season, as we are now moving through, is ending. The last days of autumn, the last days of the greatest, in a way, nights. There is that sweet moment when there is nothing. And it is there where the being becomes that space to rest into, and the space to get to know, to find that sense of inner refuge and knowing and peace that you don't need to define by any of the beautiful things that you do. So whenever all those, like every season, end, you're still grounded and knowing who you are. Asking yourself maybe where you're gripping into things, into people, into places, into dreams, and where, just like the movements of the seasons and transitions, can there be a space to compassionately hold the human and to attune instead to the strength of the mystery of being you? 3 more breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale and sigh. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale. And one last breath. Through your nose, inhale. And through your mouth, sigh. And then very slowly, with your next inhale, bringing your knees all the way to your chest. Taking a moment to rock a little bit side to side, just a couple of moments there, yeah. And then we're rolling towards one side, left or right, bringing one hand in front of you and coming all the way into a very wide knee child's pose. So your knees will open as wide as the mat or wider. If you have the space in the body to spread them wider and it feels annoying to have them on the floor, you can also use the mat horizontally or put a blanket. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that it's a little bit softer. Yeah, always a good idea. And then from there, bring your hands just in front of you. And we're gonna glide your right shoulder as far as you can to the left. So in this one, your right shoulder can even be towards the edge of your mat. Here I have it really on top of the edge of my mat. Then the right ear comes down towards either the floor or on top of a block. If your hips are really high and your torso is very high. So right ear down. And then the left hand can stay in cactus, can go straight. Or if there is space in the shoulder already, you can bring that left arm all the way up and back. Holding trouser, t-shirt, maybe you go all the way to envelop your body and to catch your inner right thigh. Yeah. Now, if there is a lot of space in between your hips and your heels in your butt, you could put the bolster in between your butt and the heels, so that there is that sensation where something is connecting you. And I would put it horizontally. Elena? Like, not the other Elena. Like this. Yes, exactly. Yeah, yes. Yeah, so that you really want to sit on top of that. Like, lift your butt. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah. So there is that sense of support, and the hips can really get heavy towards the back. The knees as wide as you can to start to also activate the inside of your legs, and the shoulder as far as you can go to the side here to come a little bit deeper on that twist. That said, always without strain. And on purpose, I'm using that other language, go as far as you can, but not for you to go as far as you can, but actually to notice how it is that you are relating with that. Is it from that mind that wants to push and prove that you can go with your shoulder to the edge of the mat? Or is it from that being that can still stay awake and connected to all the micro changes and transformations that are happening through your spine, in the head, in the thighs, throughout your arms. Actually, something that may seem very simple, it has an incredible amount of complexity in how every inner layer is communicating with each other, how everything within yourself is communicating with each other, and where that communication can happen in a graceful way is when there is the least amount of that power that wants to go for it use, and more of the aligned energy that is spreading just from the being inside. That it will always do as being is here to create. But maybe from that effortless or graceful space of the smooth flow, one thing after the next, just like this practice. In this practice, there is not a peak experience. There is the smooth flow of how it is to melt, to soften, to get to know corners and sides with no rush. Sense of a devotional presence into absolutely every breath, and that tender yet sustainable, maybe in time, discovery. Tension melts every time we learn to cultivate that loving presence. And yet many times we run away from it just because we don't know what remains if I allow myself to open and grip to everything that I am gripping into. Every form could be considered one of those things. And every moment that we're exploring, how is it to be there, but how is it then to ungrip in the moment and when it's time to undo? What are all those sensations and all those qualities that, despite forms being there, are not there? The one that is there constantly is you. The common denominator to every situation that you get to live is you. Is that being, or is that part that is trying to control the being that it wants to express? And that sometimes create different types of lessons until it can surrender to itself in a way. That's where we recognize that pointing fingers, it is just a repetitive pattern of constantly gripping and seeing out instead of pausing and seeing inwards. If you are the common denominator in everything within your life, it is interesting sometimes to pause and to observe what role you are playing. It is that role being played from a surrender to the flow of life, or mainly from a resistance and a micromanagement of things. Nature doesn't micromanage, nature is nature. Nature is effortless. Certain things are always happening, ups and downs, flows, twists and turns, autumn, winter, every season. And we are designed so similarly. We cannot live always in summer. We also cannot live always in autumn or in winter. There is that ungripping. Now the grace comes when there is a knowing of what is behind all of that. A mystery that can be faced but cannot be understood. I invite you to ground from your sit bones as if you could imagine that from these two bones you can grow roots that are pulling your hips thanks to that gravity down to the earth. Is that down to the choice of being here. And in that way, as the hips pour down towards the earth, then the spine and the shoulder that is twisting and being massaged, they can also, or they may drop and exhale with just a little bit more ease. The jaw unclenching, the eyes are soft. And we will take 3 breaths. We're going to do a little bit different where the inhale here, it will go from your hips down into your heart. And then as you exhale through the arms, both of the arms, they are both in their ways, doing something. And exhaling through those arms and offering, opening your palms, allowing yourself to start to empty for what a form can offer you, what every moment offers you, and then you just see it go. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And one last breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then very slowly, if your left arm is behind you, releasing that left arm, bring it all the way in front of you, lifting yourself all the way up. And child's pose may not be the place where you want to rest. You may want to bring yourself all the way up. You can move the legs to the side, bring them forward so that the front body can breathe. Yeah. And you can stay sitting, arms back and shrinking the shoulders to the ears, or you can let yourself completely rest on your back. Yeah. Dropping the back body and immediately opening to the front and the center within you. And as the rivers of sensation, they wash what was. They offer the possibility for you to navigate to see what remains, what is still here. What is that part, that side, or that aspect of you that as forms are created and are dissolving? All this is happening from a deeper space. It is there where the practice and many different practices clear the way to recognize this space. A mystery in a way that is always there. It is not something to search for, as a search then may be restless and endless, but more a place to remember, to have a glimpse of that is always present, that has as the greatest purpose of being expressed through your body, that is not in a rush, and is also not lacking behind, that is just his gift. Maybe it's life, essence, nature, the universe as you, the earth as you. So many traditions and wisdoms, different names, same thing. As it is a mystery. And you may find your way to call this however you call it. But everyone agrees in a way that here there is peace. And here there is immense potentiality, just as nature. One more breath. And you may inhale through your nose. Exhale. One more before the other side. Inhale through your nose. And exhale and sigh. And then slowly, with your next in-breath, bringing your knees all the way back to your chest. Taking a moment to roll to one side. One hand that comes all the way in front of you. Coming back into that really very wide knee child's pose. No rush back through any rocking, lullabying. Have your the support that you need for the knees. Remember, you can also use the mat horizontally if your knees go quite wide. And then the hands first go forward. Maybe that bolster in between your bum and the heels if you want that extra support, yeah? And then from there, bringing that left shoulder as far as there is space to go towards the right. So there is quite a big twist here. The left ear on the floor or on the block. Yeah. That's it. And then the right hand that can stay forward, or you may bring it all the way up and all the way behind you. There is the farthest place, but there is also the moment-to-moment meeting of the edge, meaning that first sweet space where you can simply notice, I can feel something here. This is something that it is a little bit different of what I feel when I'm all day sitting or standing or in any of the more I don't know if natural, but how we hold ourselves throughout a day. We tend simply not to feel more than just the discomfort of posture. Now, when we create something different, there is also the opportunity to learn to feel the body in all these different ways. As it is within all these that we cannot see, where that essence, that life also lives. So the more space, the more life. And not the more in this obsessive more, but the infinite touch of all that is you. Exactly when you're not doing, but that where your being has space. And it is there where attention will constantly be met. It's inevitable. The more we disconnect and dissociate from nature and from the way that nature intended us to live, the more tension that there will be in the body, the more tension that there will be somewhere deep down us unconsciously. There is an intelligence that is designed to be nature, that is designed to be natural. And it is this connection that many times create pain. Not just pain in the body, but this sometimes deeper pain of not understanding what is happening, why there is a sense of something missing. And maybe the only thing that is missing is the remembering of that nature. The relating back into the simplicity of what is it to be with yourself without the need to have, to prove, to collect stuff. Which it doesn't mean that it's bad to collect or to have stuff. But it is wise to want and not to need. To be able to be with yourself, nothing else. So then you don't depend on anything. Because you have you. And then all else is there to enhance that experience. To bring perspective, color, beauty. But then if for any reason all of that has to be removed, you know who you are and you don't lose yourself. Now this is natural. And it is the tension that is accumulated year after year. The one in the mind of thoughts that are misaligned, the one in the heart from not wanting to allow tears or anger or confusion that then comes and gets stuck somewhere in the body that end up feeling or creating just simply a not also normal misalignment. So there is a rewiring that happens in the pause, in the not running, in the coming back to say, I am here. Because we can all access the pulsation of the heart and the sensation of the breath. And it can take just a couple of moments to witness from that space just how miraculous it is for that to be happening. Who is making your heart beat? Who is making your body inhale? What is this intelligence? Because there is rest, immense understanding, and so much love that can be a key to drop the fight and to open instead to the beauty. The beauty doesn't mean perfection. As also in nature, nothing is perfect. There is a perfect chaos that is constantly recreating life. From your sit bones like a tree, imagine both of these bones that grow these roots down towards the ground, in that reminder of it is here. This life is here, and in this moment is on this mat, in whichever physical location you are, because it is there where there is something most likely to learn. So there, your seat must drop you down, and in that way, you imagine your spine like this beautiful waterfall that can pour forward the softness in your chest and in your arms. As we take 3 last breaths, creating the qualities of the softness and the unconditional presence that allows the melting. The process to dissolve the form gently by grounding yourself in the center of dissolving everything that is meant to dissolve around you, and you strengthening your center. From the hips to the heart as you inhale, from the heart out through the arms as you exhale. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And one last one. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Now slowly, if you have that arm behind you, bring it forward, and then sweetly lift that other arm. Release your legs all the way to the side. Extend your legs all the way forward. Yeah. You may feel like needing to shake a little bit your legs, which you can. If you're close to the wall like I am, you can also rest your back on the wall if you want to stay sitting. If not, you may feel just best to go back and to lay on your back. Now the transitions are part of the practice, where it's easy in that switch, in that moment, to lose that presence. And there the body may contract again. Now the question is, can I stay in the transition as present, so that it is exactly there, where the slower you go, the more you can start to discern the sensation of the form that goes, and the sensation of you that remains, discerning that it cannot possibly be made by the mind. That's why we use words and visuals, but nothing will ever replace the felt sense of seeing that sensation go, as seeing the mud in the water settle, or the waves in the water settle. But the water is the water. You are you. Your essence is yours. And after all, nothing belongs to you more than the life that it is there. No thing, no person, no place No earth, no nature, nothing. Nothing of what you create even belongs to you. It is just a pathway for all life to exist. And it is there where when we attach or grip so hard on all of it, we lose the connection to what matters, that essence. This is the place that will always be. This is the only place where true rest can happen. And it is normal to grip. If you never tasted this space, it is a leap of faith to trust that you are there to hold yourself in infinite form. And this is why it's a mystery. Maybe an inhale through the nose. And exhale on sigh. Again, inhaling through your nose. Exhale. One last one, inhale. Exhale. And then slowly, one more time, your knees will come all the way to your chest. Taking a moment to roll towards one side. Coming all the way. Now I'm going to give you some options. Coming all the way to your toes, knees down. We're going to come into Malasana from there. Lifting your knees, opening your feet to the side into a Malasana. Now, as we're going to stay for a while, if you know that you can stay there without any block, stay there. Otherwise, you can put a block and sit on top of the block, or yes, on top of the bolster. And if that is also like no option, you can sit on the floor and you can open your feet to the side. And I call that spider. Yeah, so there is also the option to sit on the floor. Otherwise, block or nothing at all. Your arms, as you inhale, bring your arms forward. Yeah, and then cross your right arm on top of the left one. Yeah, release your hands and come to catch your thumbs. If you catch in your hands or thumbs, stay there. If not, you can stay here, and if not, you can avoid the arms. But if you catch them, then from there, rounding your back, the chin to your chest. And you just let the weight of the elbows and of the hands drop. And halfway, we're going to switch the arms. You can do it without the arms. You can just bring your hands forward and not use the arms. Frederick, from where you are, instead of having, I think that your feet together, from what I can more or less guess from the blanket, open your feet to the side. So yes, exactly. Your feet are wide and sit on top of a bolster so that your hips are a little bit higher and there will be more space also for you to go forward. You go forward, it looks like a spider. It's my how do you say, input into the Yin Yoga forms. Yeah, exactly, that's it. And if you can open your knees even more to the side, if you have space, more to the side. So that you go really deeper into your inner thighs. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so there, your spine is round, your hips, for all of us, heavy. The seed bones, you can imagine them as the point of the tree from where you start to let the roots connect you down and down and down. The more the seed bones take you down, the more in a way your head and the other part of your body will start to also drop into the opposite direction. The back of your heart widening. Your breath beautifully massaging all this back space. The roots of where your essence moves from place to place to place, connecting all the intelligence that is you. Sweet and smooth. There is no rush. But maybe what there is needed is just a loving presence every time that we find ourselves maybe into the pushing, into the rushing, asking why. Is there a possibility to slow down, to recalibrate? What is really needed in this moment? There tends to be a lot less maybe needed than what we try to prove that is needed. And the only reason we don't know that space. And yet we all know that space. And certainly had had glimpses of being suspended in that peaceful space that you know this is you. Beneath every role and mask and thing. It is infinite presence and love. It holds you, it makes the heart beat, the lungs take air. And it is always there. Now from here, stay there, but switch the other arm on top. Yeah, just release the arms a moment, and then bring the left arm on top of the right one. So switch the arms if you're still there. Yes, that's it. And again, in that switch, then recalibrating, the elbows go down. The shoulders are spreading from each other. The wings open. Finally, as you root within that unconditional presence, and as you choose to take that leap into the mystery, we get trapped because we try to learn about the mystery to the point that it becomes this rational thing that then needs to be proved, and all of that creates tension and a distance in between what is and what we're trying to understand for things to be. So then we rewire and we go back to just clear the way. Every corner of the body, every corner of the heart, of the mind. All these memories that are in every specific space, that they are just resistance. And yet it can only be clear with that immense and immense presence. And you are the greatest magician of all. The moment that there is that drop, I drop the mind into the mystery. I'm here. The leap of faith is the surrender to the unknown. And greater unknown than the mystery of being. This is it. So once rooting down and down to the earth. Breath widening the space of your shoulders, the back of your heart. Just one more breath with the arms crossed. And then we will take 3 breaths with the arms uncrossed. Just let your hands drop down. And we're gonna breathe in the opposite way now with the inhale from the brain into the hips. And then as you exhale, exhaling through the inner legs and all the way out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And one last one. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. Now slowly you can remove the blockbuster support or nothingness maybe, and then sit all the way very slowly. And again, it may feel really good to extend your legs all the way forward. Slowly, trying to stay with that, and as you land, inviting that relaxation into the back. And before you need to bring the knees to the chest or doing anything else, savoring what is here, grounding in what is staying, as you can let from there what is going go with more ease and grace, because you know what stays, and what stays is always you. What stays when the body is not there is always you. What stays when a season changes to the other is you. And so learning by feeling the mystery becomes an incredible inner resource to live maybe more freely. Soft belly. Sensations smooth out. What stays? Who is there? Maybe an in-breath through the nose. Exhale. And then a sweet inhale. Sweet exhale. Mm. And from that space of being, you have the possibility of creating another form for a little moment. But I'm not going to tell you which form. So really asking and considering, do I need from that being to add anything else? Not from what you know that maybe you should do, but from what spontaneously is there. It can be anything, and you will here have a lot of practice. Yeah. And it can be as simple as nothing. As there is already enough inside of sensational experience, an inquiry into what stays, what is. As you continue to observe all the excess, all the doing, all the creations, all the dreams, all the places, all the people, dropping. Attention to your breath that guides you into that space. And no matter the form, if there was one, with every exhale, exhale. And ask yourself, who is inhaling? What is this thing? This being, nature? That is certainly something to be in devotion of, in gratitude. And to tend to this magnificent body with so much care and love, as it is the playground. Dropping the fight and opening to the grace. One breath at a time only. It is possible in this moment. You can stay in that form of your choice for as long as you wanted. And when you're ready, you can let yourself fully rest. And do rest, even if it's at the end of the end for at least a moment. In Shavasana, all ends. But that nature goes on. And it whispers to you in your inner ears, what do you need to receive? Shavasana.
Okay.
And very slowly becoming aware of your breath, of your body, and that stillness and quiet of that essence that from within is you. And inviting that from that innermost space, movement arise almost as a celebration of what is to incarnated in your body. That's where the movement is intentional. Toes, fingers, arms, legs. Stretch, hug, any expression in any way. Eventually, the knees will come to your chest. Rolling to a side and hanging your seat. Bringing your hands to rest at your heart and taking a moment to honor yourself, your breath, your body, your own journey, discovering your own mystery. Inhale, and with your exhale, bringing your mind to your heart. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Elena. My dears Elenas. Thank you, my dears David and Ferry. Namaste. You're not cold in t-shirt? And it's warm here, but like t-shirt. Ah! Oh, let me just check this. Check.